Well, g'day. What I thought I'd do this evening is show you, because not everybody is necessarily up to scratch with how to chop an onion. So I thought I'd show how it's done, since I don't always cook like a absolute master chef, but this evening I'll sort of show you what I've got so far. I just chopped up a whole heap of capsicum. It's ready to go into the pot, which is, yep, just the right temperature. And this here, this all here, this is all this beautiful turmeric. Turmeric is an excellent herb that you can never have too much of, unless you're taking it in the capsule form. So I'll pop all that in. I'll chuck half the garlic in. I don't like to overcook the garlic, but I like to start with it because it's awesome for flavour. Now I like to use a wooden spatula. I think that's most important. So, I don't know if you can see, I'm not the world's best cameraman ever. We'll just start that frying away. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how to chop an onion. Because onions are an excellent thing for chopping. Just cut the end off. Do that twice because there are two ends, a north pole and a south pole. And then half the skin will just fall right off. Peel it right off then, if you feel up to it. Otherwise, don't worry about that, because when you do the second cut, it will take care of itself. But in this case, we do have an excellent easy skin off. Then you just lay it out flat like so, and just cut it lengthways like you would do if you were doing it in a stir fry. And then you can just turn it around, and bam, 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 you've now got perfectly diced onion. Connect it, go straight into the pot. So it's not that difficult, even for a bloke. It does help if you're left-handed though, of course, because if you're right-handed, chances are you'll be a bit dumb. Just kidding, guys, just kidding. No, I'm not. Fucking retards. Right brain, no, hang on, left brain logic heads. You gotta use some intuition in this life. Because that way you know how to place a camera with intuition if you're left-handed. That's one of the biggest problems with males of the world, because they're using their right brain, that's the male brain, is they just can't use their intuition. Biggest problem. Fortunately for me, I'm slightly ambidextrous. I can jerk off with this hand or this hand, which is quite handy if you've got broken fingers for any reason. It does help to have a sharp knife. I did give this one a little bit of a sharpen early, but stainless steel tends to go a bit blunt really easily. This little fella, it's not stainless and it stays sharp beautifully. See, so if you don't feel like peeling it the first time, once you cut it in half, the peel just pretty much falls off the second time. This is how you impress chicks, guys. Pay attention. Chicks love being impressed. Bloke with cooking skills. I've actually cooked like this out camping at the beach, in the sand hills, in the dunes with me mates. You can just take a few recipes, sharp knife, a few ingredients, sorry. Sharp knife. Always take garlic and onion. If you've got garlic and onion, you've got dinner solved. And you just chuck in whatever else you got. You can stir fry. A bit of carrot, capsicum, broccoli, zucchini. I'll show you how to chop a zucchini next. So you have a really sharp little knife, you can give all these extra little cuts. Probably you can see how many extra cuts I just gave that one. And the beauty of chopping your own vegetables too, especially things like your turmeric and your garlic, ginger when you're doing a meal that has ginger in it, this one doesn't, and onions, because it gets up in your eyes and your nose. It does make you cry a little bit, but it's actually really, really cleansing. You can always chuck a bit of extra garlic in there any time. Oh, that onion really got me. So we won't talk about that. Let's just show you. Oh man, I might just find a tissue and dab my eyes. Wipe my nose slightly. So this here is a zucchini. Some people call them by another name in other places. I can't remember what it is. You just chop the end off. And for this particular recipe, we want little cubes. So just slice it. Try to keep them in a row if you can. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, a master chef would probably just go, but you got to do it with love. You can say thank you with every slice of the knife. Even if you say it mentally, saying it out loud is good. Yeah, so then just whack them in a stack. Slice through that way, and then slice through that way. It's a sharp knife, as I say. And then you got lovely, lovely little cubed up zucchini bits to chuck in. What we're making here tonight is a pasta sauce. So pasta sauce, you cannot go wrong with ingredients, really. Like, I know turmeric is actually not one I would ordinarily add, I must admit, but I just picked a shitload of turmeric out of the garden the other day, like a shitload. I took a nice sized bag full of it into work today just to share with my colleagues, and gave me mate Mr. Geddes. Check his site out about the Orgonite moonshine. Oh, sorry Steve, I can't remember, moonshine or moonlight Orgonite. He makes the best Orgonite. If you don't have Orgonite, you've got to have Orgonite. It's the bomb. It just helps with the vibe. Gets rid of all the bad stuff. So that's one zucchini. I think we'll go two. I buy the cheap stuff because it's cheaper. So that one with a hole in it, well that's cool because I can give that to the fish downstairs. Bristle note, in fact I'll give them that as well, it's a bit soft. This bit's good. Bristle notes, catfish love a bit of zucchini. It's good for your goldfish too. Give them a bit from time to time. Be surprised what you can actually give fish to eat that you never really thought about. If you're one of those people that likes to keep some pet fish, then I recommend keeping pet fish for all sorts of reasons. Therapeutic. Just, you know, it's good to be caretakers for living things that depend on you too, because it gives you responsibilities. Gives you something to, well, just, you know, don't forget to add salt. Himalayan pink salt is the best sort of salt. That's another thing you can never have too much of. They talk about this idea of reduced salt intake. Don't reduce your salt intake. Whatever you do, do not reduce salt intake. Just don't smoke. Salt is what creates the, what's the word? It's not, yeah, I guess osmosis is a good enough word. It's probably not 100% yet, but it's what, yeah, it is osmosis. It's how you digest stuff. That's why it tastes so good, because we need it in our food to help absorb the goodness of the earth into your body, so you can become one with the Mother Earth. Simply by eating her fruit. In whichever delicious ways you choose, just so long as you do it with gratitude and with love, then that's all you need to do. Gratitude and love in all your food, in all your beers, or water, or coffees, or teas, whatever you like to use yourself. I personally love my home brew. Eat lots and lots of green, leafy things, like this beautiful, damn, I don't know, I used to always call it spinach, but apparently it's got another name. I always forget how it's called, spinach, but any green leafy stuff is really good, because chlorophyll is basically more or less the same as blood cells, only instead of an iron core, it's magnesium. That's why they're green, and blood cells are red. But otherwise they're almost identical. And by eating a lot of green leafy vegetables, not too much, never overeat, but by eating them, they actually cleanse your blood and absorb the heavy metals and toxins and stuff that can make you sick, that we don't need in our bodies at all. And so if you're eating them regularly, daily, fresh greens, put them through your juicer, you won't see illness. So don't go complaining about being sick and going and seeing a doctor and getting pills and prescriptions if you're not eating right. Eat right, stay healthy, and then you can do a few simple things, silly things like drinking beer and having a bong here and there, and maybe even having a tequila if you had tequila. I used to love it. No, but I drank it. It's okay, I don't feel like a tequila. It knocks me around a bit too much. I'm happy. I love beer. It's the perfect combination of water with purifying alcohol to kill off the bugs without putting too big a drain on your liver. And take milk thistle supplements, that helps too, to help. Spirulina, what's the other one that I always forget the name of? Anything green, doesn't matter. Those green algae there, they're brilliant. They are superfoods. And the more living superfoods, green foods, the super your health will be. It's not rocket science, it's just good old fashioned living off the land as best you can, eating in season, staying in tune, going out and looking at the stars, even go for a walk in the rain. Well, it would have been okay before the chemtrails come along and poisoned everything. For years and years I was called a conspiracy theorist because I'd talk about chemtrails, but I could see chemtrails with my own eyes. I'd watch them being sprayed, I'd watch them change the weather, watching them make clouds or make clouds disappear, or even make it rain up from the ocean into the clouds when they wanted to suck up all this extra moisture before they wanted to create this weird weather events like the floods and stuff they do before the big festivals around here, the Blues Fest, the Splendour in the Grass Fest. See, because I'm in tune, I see these things. I know what's going on. I know what they're doing. and I try not to get angry about it. I just try to find solutions. It's like, oh well, if that's what they're going to do to us, this is what we've got to do to survive. We've got to build big enclosures at least. The first one I would start doing, this bit of land I had my eye on, which got sold unfortunately, but it's a beautiful big bit of land, was to start straight away with the hemp. Make the hempcrete, just make walls good and high enough for, a nice big octagonal greenhouse, and have lots of bamboo growing too, so within a couple of years you have enough building materials, and then you can use the bamboo to build a big framework for the dome roof. Just build big hexagonal shapes, make it nice and strong and supportive, and then just put a big canvas covering. Even if you had to use plastic to start with, I'd hate to do that, but it would work. White canvas would probably work just fine too, to let enough light in, have this massive big open air greenhouse inside, and grow everything aquaponics, grow fish. I'm running out of time here, but okay. Growing fish, they produce the waste, which fertilises the plants. As you pump the water up through the plants in your aquaponics, the plants filter it out and produce food, and you also produce fish, which are tasty. Now, to smoke the fish, you do it in a sealed environment, which you can still do inside the dome because of the inside one of the pillars, which is a big chimney stack as well. And you do it in such a way, you got to look into the wood gas side of everything, but you also burn in your coconut husk, because coconuts are awesome, and to make your carbon, your charcoal. And as you're burning that, the smoke comes out to smoke the fish, but then you got the charcoal, which you use to filter the water in the first place before it goes into the fish to take all the heavy metals out. And then when you're making your hempcrete, that's where you dispose of your waste carbon, which is full of heavy metals, so then you're locking them into rock permanently forever, where heavy metals belong. Smoked fish, beautiful organic food, protected from the chemtrails, plenty of all the stuff you need to survive and thrive. And yes, you could even use native bees because they don't sting, to do all your fertilisation and honey producing and all the rest. I do like the European honeybee very much for her royal jelly and her honey, which I put into my home brew, by the way. This is a good drop. I might even auction off a bottle one of these days if I get enough interest. Maybe even the first one from the last brew, which was bottled on the 8th of the 8th, 16. The very first one I actually put into a commemorative bottle. It's a tall long neck with a lock top. It's flip top like this. It's the only one of those bottles I've got, so it's a very unique bottle. And I need to raise funds. I want to get my fiancée over here from the Philippines, who I haven't seen in 4 years plus and counting. Fell in love with her the moment I saw her. Had to go over and meet her. Met her. Yep, she's the one for me. So that's my sorry tale. You don't want to know about me losing my business or anything else why I lost my house. Just because it's not the problem. I'm just going to be happy and enjoy the moment and do everything I can to try and raise funds to help my beautiful fiancée and her poor family over in the Philippines. They're all doing it so tough. Her parents are getting old, they're getting sick, there are homeless kids everywhere. My heart goes out to them. And that's the only reason I would ever ask for any donations, because every time somebody's ever helped me out, they've sent me $20 here, $50 there. I even got $80 once. 10, 20, 15, anything you can afford. I don't need it. I send it all straight to her, where it helps her get food for their family for the day, buy some rice and some fish, and pay their electricity bill so they don't pay their water bill. You got no idea unless you've been to a third world country, and they're the most beautiful people, like any people anywhere. They're all beautiful people and they all need love. So if you do care to help out in any single way, you can donate it through PayPal using my email address. It's a really simple one. ancients@hotmail.com. That's all it is. And it's not for me. And if I auction off this beer, which I'll get enough interest, I'll put it on eBay or something. And let's see if I can raise a couple of $1,000 and get her over here. I would really appreciate that.